Hello and welcome to the qualifier race for the 10th race of the Utica Home Track Series here at Sonoma. We're all the way out in California, and we have quite a few drivers here on the entry list that need to qualify. Here they go, scrolling past everyone with an R as a rookie, and most people are rookies in the qualifier series. There's everyone that's going to be attempting today, and on pole for these drivers attempting today was none other than a fellow road race ace, the number 93 of Michael Aurelio. Now, Michael Aurelio's had some struggles in the qualifier series. He hasn't made a race since Megville back in race 2. So he's hoping to make it today because his next scheduled start would be race 15 in Cleveland. That's the next American road course unless he gets a little more funding. So we'll have to see. He currently leads at the moment ahead of Andrew Robinson in the number 43. Now 10 cars are going to make it in, and currently in 10th place is Emil Michaels. But at the current moment he wouldn't be getting his first start because the plan with the RGE cars is that if Emil Michaels makes the race and Joshua Michaels does not, Joshua Michaels will step into the number 13X. Ray Takita not cleared the race for Sonoma after several incidents at Daytona. Emil Michaels is going to make the swap out with Joshua Michaels. Now that is a legal move. It's been done earlier this year with Willie Decker, car number 1X, putting John Sedino in the ride. He sits in 10th, so Emil Michaels just needs to hold on. He's a road race ace. He should be able to do it as we head into the sharp turn. Now here's Prince Littlejohn's going to make some contact with Dion Scott, the number 25. That's a lot of damage to the 01. Now Michael Creed could not make it to the track this week as he had a prior event to go to. So Prince Littlejohn was asked to step in, and she's currently in the ride. They were impressed with how she ran at Daytona, but it's not looking too impressive right now. Sitting just ahead of Dion Scott and Connor Atwood, who are running at the very tail end of the field. Hopefully the Everlast car will be able to make a race soon, as the Allen Motorsports team has had difficulty getting a third entry into races. Now we take a look at Justin Benoit, car number 22. He's the leader in the qualifier series, but is not doing well right now, running close to the back of the pack, right ahead of Joshua Michaels in that 13, and right behind Vladimir Petrov in the 09 machine, still running the Russian flag colors. The 22 car is still up there in the points, but Matt Duell is starting to catch up with some great finishes in the qualifying series as of late. So Justin Benoit needs to make sure he keeps consistent in this series if he wants to make sure he has that spot. Inman J makes his first start of the season in the qualifier event. Now he's driving the Phoenix Wright machine. They're releasing a new game later this year in Japan, so they're advertising that. Now, due to budget cuts, Gastic Engineering Incorporated is starting to go back on their idea of having a different driver every 3 races. Their current plan is to have Inman J finish out his run, put Oku Yamadea in the car for the rest of the season, and then have Joshua Lameo run at Myrtle Beach. So we'll have to see how that works. Maybe they'll get more funding. Inman J trying to see if he can beat Josh Lameo's points position. Here is number 12 of Joey Green. Now Zach Saturday was taken out of the 12 car for this week. We're not exactly sure why. He did very well at Daytona, but Joey Green, I believe a sibling of Tom's Green. I don't have any word on that in the booth, but he's putting the Menards car on track today. He currently sits in 12th position right behind Matt Duell and is close to making it into the show. Whoa, contact with Thomas Green, and that's going to send the 12 car into the wall. And the Ford is going to get some heavy damage, and that car is going to be singing all the way to the tail end of the field. Not a good qualifier for Joey Green, who is attempting to make his first race. None of the Phoenix Indiana Motorsports cars seem to be doing well today. Now here's Dylan Young. Now he should be in the Outback Statehouse car, but he wrecked that car in practice. So they brought out the backup, which was not painted with the Outback colors yet. It will be the Outback car for the race. But Dylan Young seemed to have a good run in this backup car. He sits in 3rd place right now. So it looks like he might be safe to making the show as long as nothing goes wrong in the later stages. Nick Capps, car number 18, has only one start to his name. That came at Laguna Seca. He seems to be better at these road courses, as he's currently in the top 10 now, sitting in about 7th place. So Nick Capps, I believe we know what his specialty is. He's hoping to make the race for his second start, hoping he can do well. He did well in his first time at Laguna Seca, getting a top 5 finish. He sits ahead of Brian Valentine at Brian Benoit. My apologies. And at number 75. As we go back one more spot, there's Alex DeMarco, car number 51, the Colgate machine. Now, he's been a very impressive driver. He just needs to make those races and get up the standings. He, Dylan Young, and Andrew Robinson been doing very well in the qualifier series, and giving them a little more time, they might be able to contend for some locked-in positions. Alex DeMarco looks like he's going to be in the race as long as nothing happens to that number 51 machine. Esteves Cortez, car number 86, has been having a rough couple of weeks. The 86 car has been failing to make races ever since Laguna Seca. This car is sitting pretty far back, running behind Willie Decker and just ahead of Jack Darby in the number 1 machine. Now, Father Bob Cortez has had a much more successful time. Bob Cortez is locked in and has been doing fairly decent, though last week was not good for Cortez as he got into a rough wreck early on, went out of the race and finished at last. Cortez still has one more lap to try and get into the top 10, but he's quite a ways back. He's going to have to really make some moves on this final lap. You go a couple spots back, there's Alex Tanker, car number 34. Real surprised to see him back here, as in the practice sessions we thought he was going to have a car that would have dominated here at Sonoma. He's one of the best drivers in the qualifier series and is one of the few drivers in this series that is a past winner. We have 2 races until the All-Star Challenge. He will appear in that due to his win at Talladega last year, but I'm not certain if he's going to be able to appear in today's Sonoma event. We'll have to try again at Martinsville next week. There's Andrew Robinson, car number 43. I mentioned him earlier on in the event. He's been having a good run, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch up to Michael Aurelio. Michael Aurelio's just been too fast. But Andrew Robinson having a great car this weekend. He's hoping to give his brother a run for his money this weekend and see if he can maybe get the first win for Robinson Motorsports. 43 car has been having a decent year. Matt Jewell, car number 88, is the car just outside. Now, he made the race last week, but went out early due to a wreck. He needs to pass Emil Michaels in the number 13X. Emil Michaels almost running into Alex DeMarco, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, as Matt Jewell is going to be the first car to fail to qualify for the event. Everyone else behind him also failed to qualify. Emil Michaels is going to make it in the show, which means Joshua Michaels is going to be able to start the race. So congrats to Joshua Michaels. Let's take a look at the full list of drivers who have qualified for the race. Michael Aurelio, car number 93. Robinson, Young, Jay for his first start of the year. Jerry Guerra with a great job. Joseph Bryan, who debuted here last year. Nick Capps, Brian Benoit, Alex DeMarco, and Emil Michaels, which is going to be Joshua Michaels for the actual race. Following cars did not qualify. Matt Jewell, Thomas Green, Willie Decker, Esteves Cortez, Jack Darby, Vladimir Petrov, Justin Benoit, Joshua Michaels, but that's going to be Emil Michaels, Alex Tanker, Prudence Littlejohn, Dion Scott, Joey Green, and Connor Atwood. Lastly, let's take a look at the top 10 in qualifier series points. Justin Benoit still on top, but by only 2 points over Matt Jewell. Then there's Andrew Robinson, Esteves Cortez, Vladimir Petrov, Dylan Young, Alex DeMarco, Jerry Guerra, Willie Decker, and Alex Tanker rounding out that top 10. Well, I hope to see you for the full race here at Sonoma coming up soon. Should be a great race, and I will see you there. Thank you for watching.